Hello everyone, hope you're all having a great day and welcome to this presentation on how we can help execute your business transformation program. So like with everything, there's always a beginning. And the beginning of this is the organization will have noticed an increase in delivery turnaround time, ROI, return on investment turnaround time, and by extension, customer and staff churn. As you can imagine, if the turnaround time is starting to increase in both delivery and return on investment, that will likely mean that SLAs are starting to get breached with the customer, by which the customer will not be happy with that and will most likely leave. When that starts happening, you'll probably see a drop in morale in staff, which of course could then lead to some of those leaving. And if you're an organisation who's wanting to scale, that is something that you absolutely need to prevent. So it's all about the need to unlock the above to enable scale up. How does this usually begin? Well, the board have spotted all of this and they've decided that to scale, they need help with improving their strategy and processes. They can't do this alone, so then they bring in a business transformation consultancy to identify the various pain points which need to be addressed. And typically, the way that this would be carried out by the business transformation consultancy is hold a variety of workshops with staff at all levels to draw out where the pain points are across the whole customer journey, undertake internal and external interviews, internal with staff, and then externally to have a conversation with customers old and new. So notice they say old and new, because it will also be customers who have recently left to understand why did they leave. Really insightful information to draw out there. Same goes for staff who've recently left. So all of that information gets pulled together into a comprehensive report. And this report will probably range from 60 to 80 pages, maybe even more. As you can imagine, the organisation has pushed for this, got the consultant to carry out this work. They get the report back, and then it's a feeling of, what then? They'll likely feel overwhelmed with the following thoughts. How do we address the recommendations? What should we tackle first? Who will manage the delivery? And who will execute the changes needed? So the reason why they'll have these thoughts is because they're struggling as it is. That's why they brought in a business transformation consultancy. It's not really going to work if you're going to try and use the same resource who are probably already overloaded anyway, which is the reason why turnaround time is starting to suffer for the delivery of their services. So yes, inability to scale due to low staff bandwidth, most likely caused by myriad of things, but just some examples. Multiple non-integrated software applications, and this happens. I'm sure people who are listening to this will be nodding their heads because it happens in any company. And it's not because it's something which they do by design, it's just through growth. It's just through growth where different applications are procured over time. But then when you take a look back, they're not integrated, and it creates more work, more double handling. Yeah, too many meetings, which is probably a consequence of the former, to be honest. Unclear process and procedures. This could be due to that as the company's been growing, they've been building more staff, creating new departments, but they're not fully in sync with one another. And yeah, as mentioned, lack of clarity on roles and responsibilities, which speaks to the former there for sure. So how can we, at Poplar Project Management, help you with this? So we'll take a very pragmatic approach. So firstly, what we'll do is we won't take anyone's word for it. We will consume the playback deck ourselves, gather our own thoughts on it, just so that we have our own understanding of what's been produced, and then we'll play that back against yourselves, just to make sure that our understanding is absolutely correct. We'll flip the main outputs, and of course from listening to you as well, what we feel are the core themes which we need to address. And those core themes are probably things like strategic vision, operating model, and things like that. Objectives, yeah, and then of course to address those themes, what are the objectives? So we do this in an OKR type style. If you're not familiar with OKRs, they're called objectives and key results. So apologies to him if I've got his name wrong. I think it's John Doerr. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's got a great book there called Measure What Matters. Check that out, and that'll give you a lot more knowledge about what OKRs are for. Really useful, really good stuff. And then really importantly, and this is where the pragmatism comes in, is that we would split how these projects can be met into short, medium and long-term solutions. Now there's probably a chance that you've got investors there which have bankrolled this program, so you're going to want to have something quick in terms of moving the dial. Have you demonstrated that you've responded to this feedback from the consultancy and that you're actually starting to deliver change? So we put the short-term solutions into a short-term plan. We would ignore the medium-term stuff and the long-term stuff just for now. We want absolute focus on the short-term solutions because, like I say, we need to move the dial quickly. Okay, it won't be all the way, which a long-term solution would, but we need to start making moves here. We would then agree with you, resource. But remember, like what we were saying in the previous slides, is that this is part of the problem of why you're embarking on a business transformation program. Your resource is probably overloaded by all of these problems with too many applications, too many meetings, and all these type of things. So what we can do at Poplar Project Management, and this is a very important thing to note, although project management is in the name, we are more than just a project management resource. We can be your teammate in many different areas. We could be a data analyst or the business analyst. If you need process flows creating, workshops being run, help with standing up a SharePoint site to turn it into your internal intranet, or producing a data import template, which helps as an interim term for one application to talk to another, then we can do all of those things. So why do we take this approach? Well, it's very easy for an organisation to get bogged down in trying to cover off all the outputs from the business transformation consultancy's deck. They'll be overwhelmed, and we're trying to cut through all of that noise and just deliver short-term solutions first at speed. We'd be more than just a project manager, but your resource to get things done. If you've got some of your staff members who have been earmarked to undertake a certain task or a certain amount of tasks, and we can do it, we'll get our hands dirty, we'll jump in and do that. We have the experience. And this as well, it will allow us to gain your trust as quickly as possible. If we can demonstrate to you that we've delivered these at pace, and we've shown, again to use that expression, that we've moved the dial, that will give you confidence, it will give your investors confidence, and it will give your colleagues confidence as well to move on to the medium-term solutions, which we would then do thereafter. So in summary, we take a pragmatic approach for a nominal set of days, so it's not a huge commitment. We'll deliver an agreed set of short-term solutions to build trust before we embark on the delivery of the medium and long-term solutions. And lastly, say it again, we're more than a project management resource. We are about getting things done. Your team is our team. Doesn't matter to me personally whether it's Prince 2, Agile, whatever methodology. Doesn't matter. It's about getting things done that works for you and works for your team. We're not an ivory tower project manager or anything like that. We will get stuck in and we will help you. So with that, we can be your resource to analyze data, write process flows, and create content to help achieve our target solutions. So, does any of this sound like you? If it does, get in touch, let Poplar Project Management join your team and help drive that change to get the job done. Thank you.